Armor Digivolutions, one of the coolest forms of evolution in the entire Digimon franchise. Wouldn't it be so cool if we applied that same concept to Pokemon? Hey everyone, Brandon here. This is now the third entry in the Giving Pokemon Armor Evolution series. Make sure to check out the previous two videos if you missed them, after this one of course. With this being the third video, of course we're moving to the third generation of Pokemon, which was when I got my first Pokemon game, so I have a special fondness for it. But we can't tackle this task alone. We need a little extra Digimon power. Alright. I call upon the power of the Digimon Sovereigns. Bring me Karn EX!
It's a whole new place with a brand new weather. Oh, hey dude, what's up?
Karn, you're ruining my bit.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to try again, or?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, sorry for missing our collab anniversary, by the way. I was just busy making my own Pokemon videos.
Salt in the wound, Karn. Salt in the wound.
Would it help if we did a video on my channel where we talk about Pokemon and Digimon who share interesting origins?
Well, I do like fun fact videos. Okay, sure, why not? Make sure to go check out that video after this one. Also, there isn't a sponsor on today's video, but I would very much appreciate it if you'd consider joining the Pragmagic Patreon. You get sneak peeks at upcoming Fakemon, videos early, and much more. And it helps keep Fakemon videos like this coming. Anyway, just like the previous video, we mixed up which armor eggs would be given to which Pokemon. Just to keep it interesting so we aren't rehashing the same old fire Pokemon gets courage armor over and over again. We worked with the incredible Fungus Fakemon to bring these armors to life, so make sure to go check them out. So our first Gen 3 Pokemon to get an armor evolution is Azurill. This little pre-evolution to Meryl was introduced in this gen, and seeing as it evolves from Friendship, I thought the Digi-Egg of Friendship would be a good fit for it. With that said, Azurill Friendship armor evolves into Plasmeryl, an electric fairy type. Wait, not electric water? Yup, Azurill is a normal fairy type, no water to be found. So therefore, electric would take over normal. Plus, with this Pokemon's concept, and in real life, mixing electricity with water is not advised. This references how many thought Meryl was called Pika-Blue, and how some still think that Meryl is a Pika clone, which it isn't. Same with Mimikyu. Looking at you, comment section. With these armor evolutions, we really tried to branch them out as much as possible from the original evolutions, much like a split evolution or regional evolution would. So there's a few things we did to help differentiate it, aside from the obvious, which we'll talk about later. One is by making it quadrupedal, which in and of itself is a reference to Raidrumon and Garurumon, two Crest of Friendship representatives which evolved from the bipedal Vmon and Gabumon respectively. The second is by making the blue a slightly lighter tint than the rest of the line, to help further sell that theme of friendship, with brighter colors tending to be viewed as more friendly than darker colors. Okay, now to the obvious. Big sparky plasma tail, whee! This was one of the things I first thought of when Karn suggested we do Azurill for this armor. Azurill's big old tail is a focal point of its design, which it kind of loses when it evolves. So we wanted to keep that aspect, and what better way than by making it into one of those cool plasma balls. I've never actually owned one of these things, but for some odd reason when I was a kid, all of my friends would have them, so this concept further ties in friendship on a personal level. This whole tail focus is also because Azurill itself is based on the fat-tailed Dunart, which apparently stores nutrition in said fat tail for times of scarcity. Plasmeryl does the exact same, but rather than storing nutrition, it stores electricity. Plasmeryl radiates energy and positivity, using their tail to deliver minor shocks that help pep up their friends when they're in a low mood. Touching their electricity-storing tail without them knowing can result in a major shock and is considered very dangerous. Always ask for consent, people.
Next, for the Digi-Egg of Love, we have Feebas. Feebas has a whole ugly duckling narrative going on, with it evolving into the gorgeous Milotic. But what if we took that away? What if Feebas evolved to be just as ugly, if not uglier? Feebas Love Armor evolves into Hideish. This Pokemon is an amalgamation of a bunch of different deep-sea fish, with a little bit of flying fish thrown in there to help evoke that flying typing. It also kind of looks like the Gungan Bongo submarine if you're a fan of the prequels. Hideish refers to a couple of different kinds of love. The first is obviously the ugly side of love, the struggles people go through for love and we never see, much like deep-sea fish themselves who we know exist but only see in documentaries, or Finding Nemo. The other is self-love. Those who have low self-esteem and may consider themselves unattractive generally try to practice self-love and self-compassion. Not only that, but also appreciating their own inner beauty. Hideish is the old adage of, it's not about what's on the outside, but on the inside, incarnate. Though its outward appearance may be jarring to some, it doesn't care. and it has an infectiously loving personality. Taking to the sea or the sky, it spreads the love wherever it goes. Can you feel the love tonight? It is in a fish.
Moving along, we have our choice for the Digi-Egg of Knowledge, Trapinch. Trapinch is based on antlion larvae, which do evolve to be more like Flygon, who is one of my favorite Pokemon. But I couldn't help missing the little munchy, beady-eyed vibe this dude gives off when it evolves into Vibrava. So to remedy that, Trapinch Knowledge Armor evolves into Chompinch, a ground bug type. This little cutie utilizes the kind of drills associated with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge and turns them into something a bit different, drawing tools. The nickname for antlion larva is called a doodlebug because the little paths they leave in the sand as they travel look like little doodles. So that is exactly what Chompinch does with these pencil pincers. It draws in the sands of the deserts it inhabits, making literal painted deserts, until the wind comes in and blows its masterpieces away, only for it to start drawing the whole thing again. Poor Chompinch and his Sisyphean quest for true art, but hey, what is art without pain?
Next, as always, we have a pair in the Digi-Eggs of Light and Hope, which are associated with each other due to them being associated with TK and Kari and their respective armored Digimon. Well, Hoenn introduced the gimmick of double battles, and in general had a lot of motifs about duality. The evil teams, Magma and Aqua, the first twin gym leaders, Latios and Latias, and one of the most famous examples, 2 pseudo-legendary Pokemon lines, which of course we will be giving these armor evolutions to. So for Bagon, we chose the Digi-Egg of Light, armor digivolving it into Bagek, a dragon steel type. Oui, c'est Bagek. Bagek gets its name and design inspiration from the Egyptian mythical creature, the Akek. This dragon-like creature is said to have the body of an antelope with the wings and talons of a bird. The Digi-Egg of Light is associated with Egyptian mythology and heavenly imagery, and that one boxing glove fish. So this creature made a great fit for Bagon, being a dragon with what are ostensibly the wings of an angel. Though the Akek may look heavenly, it is actually heavily associated with the god of chaos, Set. Beasts associated with Set were meant to resist the light, which with its part steel typing makes Fairy, essentially the light type, do neutral damage. And as it's not able to channel its own light, Bagek represents a kind of reflective or blinding light. Ah, my 4th favourite song by The Weeknd. Bagek will use its brilliant and reflective appearance to blind opponents, both in a literal and metaphorical sense, using its majestic looks to trick other Pokemon into thinking its intentions are pure before striking out with draconic savagery.
And that brings us to the Digi-Egg of Hope and Beldum, which when combined become Beldius, a steel fighting type. A theme of Hope armors is Greek mythological creatures, and more specifically quadrupedal ones. So how exactly can we take this mechanical space rock creature and turn it into a reference to a Greek quadrupedal creature? How about the Trojan horse, one of the most famous non-living mechanical creatures? What ties this whole thing together in a neat little bow is that the axe on Beldius' chest and Metagross's face is actually a reference to the Antikythera mechanism, the oldest known example of an analog computer dating back to ancient Greece. Beldius' name comes from another famous mythological horse, Balius, which was one of the horses that drew Achilles' chariot, with Achilles being a prominent member of the Trojan War, and the wheels of Beldius' back legs emulating a chariot. Its name also refers to Odysseus, who came up with the idea for the Trojan horse. This design just bleeds Greek origin, and I just love how well it ties together. As far as the hope aspect, this design represents the duality of hope the Trojan horse brought. The loss of hope for the Trojans when the Greeks invaded using the horse, and the hope of the Greeks that this horse would help them win the war. Beldius are assertive, militaristic fighters. They can break down any defense using a mix of their keen intellect, speed, and sharp claws. While not as fast in processing power as Metagross, it more than makes up for it in pure physical prowess. To additionally play into the theme of duality between these two pseudos, they also share the steel type, but one as the primary typing and the other as its secondary.
Finally, we have reached the starter Pokemon! Yay! Since we're already mixing up the armor order, let's start with the fire starter, Torchic, who we decided to give the Digi-Egg of Sincerity. So Torchic Sincerity armor digivolves to Torsha, a fire grass type. The Digi-Egg of Sincerity typically folds in some sort of Japanese culture-inspired element on top of general grass aesthetics. Previously we've done a ninja and a tanuki, which was kind of a ninja tanuki. Anyway, this time we went with the ancient art of geisha, splitting this line away from its chicken fighting origins and moving it towards a more graceful inspiration. The plumage of this Pokemon was no mistake either. It is inspired by the breed of chicken called the Tosa no Onagadori, also known as the extremely long-tailed chicken. This breed is obviously known for its luxurious and sort of disturbingly long tail, which we felt would mesh well with the idea of a geisha, fusing the idea of these long draping feathers with the long draping sleeves of a kimono. Torchia's name comes from torch, tosa, and geisha. It is known for how eloquently it moves about, leaving not a feather behind, due to their meticulous yet elegant preening of themselves. The kimono girls of Johto were said to have originated by learning from a Torchia long ago. In modern times, they are known for being excellent at parties. Now that's a party foul. Brandon wrote that line. We don't really use that phrase over here. I know what it means. I don't think I've ever said it other than like, party foul, dude. Welsh.
For the Digi-Egg of Courage, I heard you like Mudkips. So when combined, they create Axolava, a fire-water type. Mudkip is partially based on axolotls, right? So, do you know where the axolotl gets its name from? Well, the ancient Aztec god Xolotl was said to have taken the form of an amphibious mammal as a spirit form. So bada boom, axolotl. As we have stated in the past, the Digi-Egg of Courage's major theme is just fire. Well, Xolotl was a god of fire and lightning. So how do we combine the water of Mudkip with fire and lightning? What is something that is water, fire, and electric all at the same time? Oh yeah, a lava lamp, using electricity to heat the water and paraffin wax in a glass to give the illusion of lava, and thus gives us Axolava, an axolotl with the head fins reminiscent of Xolotl that channels the power of fire and water and has a lava-like substance brewing in its stomach emulating a lava lamp. You get all that? Fungoose managing to combine all these elements into a cohesive design was such a feat, and I am extremely happy with how it turned out. I imagine Axolava could have an ability like Transistor, but that might be too broken. The extremely hot liquid in Axolava's stomach can be regurgitated in a searing hot blast, covering and burning the opponent. It will do anything to protect its nest, bravely taking on any harm or danger that may come to it.
And last but not least, we have Trico, with the Digi-Egg of Reliability, which becomes Treecroak. I know that name gives off the same vibes as Talonflame, but hey, it sounds like Trico and gets the word oak in there as well, so double meaning? Anyway, to point out the elephant, or I guess frog in the room, Trico has evolved into a tree frog. Why? Well, a major theme of the Digi-Egg of Reliability is aquatic vehicles, so we went with amphibious vehicles, sliding that reptile over into the amphibian category, which, let's be honest, isn't too far of a stretch for Pokemon. You get the gunfish and it turns into the bazooka octopus. Also, these are based on Digi-Eggs, and Digimon Evolution is even more free. I pitched the idea of a tree frog to Brandon, and Fungoose managed to combine a bulky amphibious car with that idea to make a really cool armor evolution.
And those are some more Pokemon Armor evolutions. Make sure to head over to Karn's channel to see Pokemon and Digimon with the same origins. And we will see you guys next time.